Our story continues. In the past, before the gourmand that you have yet to see the end of.
Thank you, Occupied Games, for the code.
Another beautiful day in Rain World.
Oh my god, that actually scared me so bad.
First things first, we are so back. This is my new favorite slugcat, a literal breath of fresh air. Well, as fresh as explosive pollution can be. It's like, imagine if the hunter was cranked up to 100,000 and injected with 1,000 times the lethal dose of speed. It's kind of similar. She was just a lot more than I was expecting. Her character mechanics and interactions, her devastating backstory, and the insanely goofy music playing at all times in the garbage waste. How am I supposed to take this seriously? And speaking of music, Hayaku Pada in black screen. Consider repressing exactly one original Rain World vinyl just for me. My email is on the screen. Okay, so the game starts and I know exactly where this is going. And I'm immediately told to make a bomb and have fun. Thanks. Your objective is to get out in any way you can. There doesn't really need to be an explanation. You got it. Alright, chill out, you're still not Spider-Man. And you're going the wrong way. As you would have guessed, this playthrough is not a walk in the park. At all. And not just because of the, did you really think Video Cult would give us a double jump with no downsides? You must be new here. Everything is out to get you. And when I say everything, I mean everything. You have an incredibly high chance of just walking into a room and having every enemy known to man inside of it. Not to mention that as soon as you start, scavengers instantly have the worst impression of you. I'm pretty sure eating them at the start of the game didn't help. That being said, your explosive diarrhea is really useful for stacking the odds in your favor, but not by much if you suck. Also, the world looks like it got hit by a nuke. I feel like breathing in this place would give you, like, Hunter's turbo cancer, like... Okay, so this game is actually really hard. Here's the thing. Remember how I said scavengers absolutely hate your guts? Well, me, being an idiot, thought I could just avoid them as best as I could, just running from region to region until I ascend. Problem? The Artificer's karma starts locked at level 1, and we gotta raise that. So how do you do it? Well... every time you kill a scavenger, gripping their lifeless corpse will cause your karma to move up temporarily. You get a bit of insight as to who you're looking around fireman carry style around your shoulder. Were they literally God? Or were they piss-awful, practically useless, should have gotten hit by a car a year ago? I think this is really cool. It forces you to actually engage in combat, capture the flag style. I enter the scavenger base, and instead of a flag, I decapitate their leader. Oh, what is that you're doing? Taking a scavenger body back to your shelter in hopes to store its juicy karma for the next time you need it? Too bad! It turns out cadavers stink really bad, and it's actually kinda hard to keep your reputation up when you're dead. No hoarding! But to be honest, killing a scavenger is pretty simple. It's just one spear to the head. Except for the fact that they'll pre-fire the second you turn a corner, have bullet drop, and if you find one on its own, be prepared for a trillion of them to come piling out of wherever the hell they came from. But you will kill them, right? You wouldn't just stop avenging your children for your own comfort, right? You can't even rest some nights without remembering the tragedy in immense detail. So do it with us, please. Got it? Alright, here's what's happened so far. Restarting my save file, I took my butt the right way and made it to Shaded Citadel. No big deal, I'd made it through the memory crypt's first try with a surprisingly small amount of Miros birds. concerning. However, I quickly realized that climbing the wall would probably make me delete my save file again. Oh my god, it's a drop wig! No way that just happened, by the way. He fell on my head! I don't know if I want to do this. So I restarted the cycle. Instead, I went to the only place I knew.
I forgot the fucking scavenger.
But I blasted ahead, my only goal being to meet up with Moon. Until I realized, I thought this place was called Shoreline, but their shore isn't any water. Waterfront facility? Where's the water? Water? I hardly know it. I think Moon is dead. I couldn't find her. I tried. The overseer kept pointing me in the direction of an iterator, but it turns out I was getting catfished by 5 pebbles. Putting my blood, sweat, and tears into trying to follow a path just for it to be some apathetic loser was pretty disappointing. But hey, maybe he could point me in the right direction. Oh my god, I didn't even... And this path let me skip through pretty much the entirety of the leg, which was so sick. Thank God I died earlier. I can't platform, I'm garbage. Familiarity. The earth I'd walked in future generations grew near, but it felt different. The lands grew silent, sparse with the occasional lizard and spider, the tongues of grapple worms as the only sound piercing through the ambience. I think back to Shoreline and how barren the wasteland was. Was 5 pebbles up to something now? That was a lot worse than I'd expected, and it made me a little scared. And as I walked down the hall toward the entrance of 5 pebbles, I realized I needed level 5 karma, and I regretted every second of my life.
Everybody has bad days, don't worry. It's not the end of the world, there's always tomorrow.
I was contemplating leaving this section out, but someone in my comment section brought it up, and now I feel obligated to. I have PTSD from this area. On my first Rain World playthrough, I thought this was the intended way of leaving the underhang, and I died so many times, and I don't even have the footage to show you. But just know, the second I realized I had to come here, my heart sank into my ball sack. But this time, I have a double jump, which I'm not very good with, unfortunately. Know where spider slugcat? Yeah. Because I can explosive fart like that. That's cooler, I think, than... Ah! The sun is shining in my eyeballs! I thought that the background was the... Following the theme of previous areas, I was hoping this one wouldn't be too packed with enemies. Oh, how blind I was. At this point, I wasn't too nervous. There was definitely a lot more scavengers than before, but surely it was just because I'd gotten off pretty scot-free in the previous areas, right? I made my way up the wall and found shelter in the room I like to call the subway. And this is where everything turns for the worse. Public transit is amazing. I just thought the title was funny. This room makes me feel like this stupid picture, and here's that story. I step out into the limited corridor and murder this fricking lizard, boosting my confidence for the future. I ascend vertically into the 4-way, a chill down my spine. Something about the echo drew me to its presence, and I accepted its blessing, doubting my ability to enact my revenge. I respawn in my shelter, kill the lizard again, and at the 4-way, I run into scavengers again. The first time since my run-in with the few at the bottom. I killed one, and another showed up. And another, and another. I was in for a world of pain. And then I finally realized the scavengers live up here. And if I wanted any chance now of meeting 5 pebbles, I would have to find my way through. There was no way back now. severely underestimating, first, the amount of scavengers. I thought if I were to just explosive jump over them, I could slip into the passageway and make my way into the chamber. But I was also severely underestimating the length of the wall's ceiling. This place is enormous, and that's really all I can say about it. A series of about 7 to 8 screens, with scavengers filling both sides. My only option was to fight back and be perfect. I was feeling a little overwhelmed. The smallest oversight could completely ruin my shot, sending me back to the subway and make me consider seeking out the rest of the land's echoes once again. I felt like I was at an impasse. Surely my technique was just off. I can't just wait for the scavengers to appear before firing. They wouldn't wait for me. I stocked up on cherry bombs, hoping they'd lump together, at least enough in an attempt to corner me. Bringing an explosive spear wasn't the move either. I'd lose it and be unarmed the second I landed on one target. But if I missed with an unaltered spear, I'd be giving ammo to my enemies. I was overthinking, and I called it a day. The next time I logged in, I wanted to try out the plan I'd come up with days prior, and after more failed attempts, I decided to call in sick, laying low and staying in the Karma Gate room until night had fallen. Even though it doesn't rain, most creatures scramble to find a place to hide, and as the final hours approached, to my surprise, it wasn't fully empty. One face lingered around, Night Patrol. They got close, but my persistence and nervous screaming helped me persevere and finally rest, so I would never have to do this ever again. At long last, my destination was found. But Five Pebbles finally told me his thoughts, and after talking to Five Pebbles, I have come to the conclusion that he is racist and I do not like him. We are not the same, Five Pebbles, but I will take your go-ahead and enter the city to avenge my children. It was going to be a long road, but all that mattered was my success, right? And as I entered Metropolis, I already knew what I was in for. The real question? How long would I last under the pressure of being in arm's reach, of taking the lives of the ones who stifled the legacy of my young ones? Night Patrol or something?